All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. There's been a lot of sightings of different UAPs, things everywhere. And this ain't changed. There's a new sighting now. Apparently, there's a big old pyramid-type shape that's been floating around the U.S. There's some footage of it. People are trying to figure out what it is. So what we're going to do is going to play the footage. I'll read a little bit of the article afterwards, but it was September 8th in Trenton. So let's take a look in Texas, by the way. So let's take a look at the footage first, and then we'll read the actual article. Here is the footage. Let's see, there it is. Kind of know what the hell that is right there. See it kind of floating around. Again, this is the videos from the Daily Mail there. It almost looks like a paper airplane at that side. Obviously, it's not. There's more to it. It's floating around in the sky. But like, what is it? It's kind of hovering there. All right. So what does the article say? So, a mysterious black pyramid-shaped UFO has been spotted flying over the U.S. New footage of mysterious object flying over Texas in broad daylight has been discovered by UFO hunters. The sighting occurred on September 8th in Trenton shortly after 8 p.m. ET when two witnesses saw the pyramid-shaped object moving eastward for at least 2 minutes. A Texas resident who was on his property at the time of the incident managed to get close and shoot clear video of what is said to be the object as it appeared from a tree line about 30 feet above the ground. The witness, who sent his footage to the National UFO Reporting Center, added that the dark triangle appeared bronze and was illuminated or had a pulsating light around its edges. Although the person filming the UFO noticed the object changing shape, it was seen to maintain a straight edge and a triangular or pyramid design during more than 60 seconds that the witness managed to follow it with his camera. Norfolk, a volunteer-run nonprofit organization that had been collecting UFO reports since 1974, stressed it's possible the object was simply a balloon, and U.S. military officials have maintained there's no evidence of extraterrestrial contact. The incident was one of 10 reported in Texas alone over the past 3 weeks. Moreover, it's the latest encounter with suspected object described as a black triangle seen flying over the U.S. this year. There's the image. You see it kind of maneuvering. The particular triangle was flying at around 32 to 48 miles per hour as it climbed higher into the sky and receded into the distance that night. The witness added that the unidentified object made no sound at all as it flew through the air. The object was estimated to be between 18 and 2.1 meters long, making it relatively large if it was just an ordinary balloon. Meanwhile, silent black triangles have been reported flying over the U.S. 20 times this year alone. These sightings have included triangles flying slowly over nearby witnesses, as well as larger objects taking off at a high speed at high altitudes. In May, another Texas resident seemed to claim to have seen a large black triangle the size of a football field with faint green lights. Just the day before the Trenton incident, someone saw a similar UFO in Hudson Falls, New York, about 9,000 feet above the ground. No sound. It was a large black object, white lights around the edges, the witnesses report to Norfolk. Triangular or pyramid-shaped UFOs have become one of the most common sightings by self-proclaimed UFO witnesses. Matt Brown, a former U.S. national security official turned government whistleblower, revealed in April he had seen classified reports that allegedly documented military contact with this type of facility. Brown claimed that a covert naval operation in the Pacific had seen a large black triangular UFO suddenly appear over several Russian ships. Texas has been one of the most active locations for UFO sightings, now known as UAP. One of the thousands of sightings reported to Norfolk over the years, more than 6,500 have occurred in Texas. This puts Texas behind only Florida and Washington state in terms of the number of views by residents. However, no state has recorded as many UAP sightings as California, which has sent almost 17,000 alleged sightings to Norfolk. All right, I mentioned to you guys last week, my schedule's kind of hectic. I'm bouncing around. I'm all over the place. I've been busy lately, and it's been nuts. But luckily enough, Cornbread Hemp, they have these CPD gummies. It's really helped me unwind, and I'm super thankful for it. If you've been looking for a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort, that is the CPD gummies from Cornbread Hemp. They are formulated to work with your body and not against it. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, man. But I do care about maintaining my physical and mental wellness. That's why I've been talking to you guys about going to the gym as much as I have been. And now I have the Cornbread Hemp CPD gummies. They're a huge piece of the wellness plan. It's relaxation, chill out, whether it's sleep, aches and pains, whatever it might be. I've tried everything. Have you tried everything for peace of mind? It sounds like it's time for you to try Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. They do so much. They use the best part of the hemp plant, which is the flower, for the purest and the most potent CBD. They formulate it to help relieve discomfort, stress, and sleepiness. So right now, DTE listeners can save 30% on their first order. You got to head on over to cornbreadhemp.com/DTE. Use that code DTE at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/DTE and use that code DTE. You will thank me for it. Go ahead right now. Okay, so what indeed is this? This is the same kind of type of question, right? Like you're always going to get, as I've said many times over, in a situation like this, the naysayers will say it's a balloon. I don't know, it's a little too large for me to think it's a balloon. That's always the easy answer. I think it's a cop-out, and I think it's lame. I think when people say, do I ever think that some of these things were balloons? Sure. But I think like the naysayers and like the people who are their job is to be the debunkers. Balloon is a lazy way to that's what they always say. It was a balloon. Things zipping back and forth. Oh, it's like you're looking at, watching the video, the way the video, that's actually going really slow. Lazy. Now saying that it's other type of technology, other type of craft, other governments, that to me is a harder argument against, even though you could have pilots that say we don't have technology that works like this. There's no way that other governments have. There are ways that governments can hide things from a lot of different people, things that they can do. So that to me makes more sense as this type of equipment, this type of things that we just don't necessarily understand that are floating around out there, because it seems a little too coincidental to me that all these things have these pyramid type shapes with these lights and these things that are happening. Like there's some kind of technology out there. And I do think it's all associated with these drones. And it always seems to happen now around this time period. I just reported the stuff that was going on in Holland, the stuff that happened in Jersey last year, the stuff in Langley the year before. More stuff is going to happen over the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months. Things are going to happen again. You're going to get these same types of reports. For some reason or another, these tests are coming in around this time. Now, whether it's, again, other governments, our government, something else, this period of time, for one reason or another, seems to be the reason or the time period that these things show up. Drones, equipment, whatever it might be, seems to show up at this point in time. Why? Don't know. A lot of the reports, especially the ones in Jersey, changing shapes, moving around. What is that? What kind of technology is that? Is any of this going to come to light once we find out a little bit more about the AI Atlas, about what's happening there? That to me is very fascinating about what is happening with all of that, and if all of that will be incorporated to all of this. I don't know why, and I have been definitely more skeptical over the last year, I would say, not in my belief in this stuff. I've told you my belief many times over of what I personally think this is, or what I think it could be. My skepticism has more so turned into trusting the powers that be to actually make something happen as far as information disclosure. I don't believe that anybody actually has our interest or letting the American people or the world know about these things. I don't think anybody really, inside the government has any intent of doing that. I think there's a lot of people outside of it that actually really want to do it and are trying to do it. But I don't, that's where my skepticism really has come, that I just don't think I was very, 2 years ago, I was very optimistic. And I thought that, when everybody, it was the one topic that it looked like people were actually working together. Now it just seems like a circus, too many obstacles for everybody involved. But for some reason, the reason where I'm getting with all that is I feel, and I don't know if the word is optimistic, because maybe it's not a good thing. I don't know. I feel like there's something coming. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I could be like everybody else. I first of all have heard nothing about it from anybody. Who the hell's going to tell me anything? But for some reason, I feel like something big is going to happen information-wise over the course of the next couple of months. I could be back here and you could say, nothing happened, dude. I'm like, yeah, nothing happened. I'm like, man, was that feeling wrong? Because that's where it comes from. It's not a, all hell is going to break loose. It's not a, oh, I know some things are coming. I don't know anything. It's just call it a strange feeling that some kind of information is going to come out from somebody or something where it actually is going to be like, whoa, where the conversation is going to start to get real. Why do I feel that way? My answer, I have no clue whatsoever. I almost cursed, but I said I decided not to. I don't know. But this type of stuff does make me start to think that maybe if these drones and all these things are showing up again this way, again, the way that they did last year, you got to figure that maybe people are going to really want some more answers this time around. Everybody just kind of gave up last year. Everybody was asking for answers. What's going on? We got to know. People in Jersey, we got to do what is this? They're not telling us anything. And then the government comes out in January and says, it was the FAA taking some tests. And I went, oh, okay. And then FAA goes, so it wasn't us. Nobody says, oh, really? What do you mean? What happened? Some people on the internet and people in our circle have been saying that, but the greater public is not. Will they, if more stuff like this keeps happening? Now, do I think that this is a UFO? Do I think that this is interdimensional craft? I don't know. I don't know what it is. But do I go there right away? I don't. I lean towards other technology. I lean towards the same thing in potentially these drones. I lean towards maybe a mixture of all of it. Something's going on, though. Something's going on. And even if it is none of that, someone knows what it is. Somebody knows what it is. It'd be a much bigger story if nobody knew what it was. If nobody knew what that really was, there'd be a bigger story. If you don't really, how do you just let things fly around the sky like that? People know, in general, with all this stuff that's happening, somebody knows. And that's my point of I just don't think anybody wants us to know. What do you think about it? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Thanks for being here as always. And please, and thank you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Get our wonderful sponsor here today. It helps the channel out. It helps us keep going. I really appreciate you. And man, I'll tell you, want to relax. That's why you do that cornbread hemp. It'll help you out. Thanks. He likes it. All right. Bye.